Today, we're going to be taking a look back at simpler times. I'm sure you are all familiar with browser games. You know these silly little flash games where you would play them on any laptop or PC with an internet connection that you could get your hands on? Yeah, we're gonna be taking a look back into those and reviewing them, I guess. And I was just missing the time where I didn't want to kill myself. We're gonna start off with Papa's Pizzeria. Now this game has a little bit of lore behind it, which is always nice. So you're this delivery driver, and one day you go to work and you get a note from Papa's Pizza you get a note from Papa saying that he's on vacation and he will no longer be able to manage the pizzeria. He was the only employee there, so it's your job to take the orders, make the pizzas, and give the pizzas to the customers. And, this is a pretty casual game. Pretty easy game. You just gotta slice the pizza and put it in the oven. All this classic pizza making stuff. This is the hardest game I've ever played in my life. Playing this game was the most stressful experience I've ever had in the last 6 years of my life. There's just way too much things to keep track of. Dark Souls is a baby's game compared to this. Nothing excites me more than being a minimum wage employee. Does this mean this game is bad? No, this game is great. I think it's one of the more polished Flash games, but it's just not for me. Now I'm gonna do something that's gonna give me more watch time than a Mr. Breast video. I'm gonna be putting these games on a tier list, and Papa's Pizzeria goes in the B tier. Next up is Raft Wars. Now Raft Wars also has some lore of its own, but its lore goes really deep. So this baby named Simon is just playing in the sand and he finds gold and diamonds. He finds treasure, right? So this reaches the news and now every single gang, yakuza, and pirates are after him. It's so fucking funny because your weapon is a water gun that shoots tennis balls and the enemies throw axes, cannonballs, and fucking grenades at you. After you fight off all the pirates and gangs, your own neighbors kidnap your parents. After you fight off the neighbors and free your parents, you will never guess what happens. Your own parents turn on you. Greed has gotten to them. After you defeat your parents, the game is over and you keep the treasure for yourself. Raft Wars has to go in the S tier because it's a game that 7 years later I played and I still had fun as an adult. And this isn't just the nostalgia, I actually enjoyed playing the game. And I recommend you play the game too. Next up is Power Pamplona. Now I remember specifically playing this game around 6 years ago after I finished computer class. I would sit and play this game with my friends. And it is way weirder than I remembered it to be. You start off being chased by a bull and then you're being chased by big titty women for some reason. The game is super easy, way easier than I remembered. I remembered it being challenging. But now I just kind of press forward and jump occasionally. The game is also really short and it's really simple and easy to outsmart the AI and even get it stuck sometimes. I don't really have a lot to say about this game. It's a short, fun, and simple weird game. Power Pampla goes in the C tier. Next up is Fireboy and Water Girl. Now this is a classic go-to two-player game. It's actually incredibly polished for the time that it came out in. The levels are genuinely hard and mind-boggling and require very precise coordination between the two players, which is something that I unfortunately didn't have while getting footage for this because I was playing with my 13-year-old brother.
And scammer gets scammed, buddy.
The platforming and physics in this game are on point, and the most challenging part, again, is the coordination between the two players. Throughout a single level, there will be multiple moments where both of you have to be coordinated and do the right thing. And if you mess up, you're gonna have to restart the level, which is really frustrating, but also challenging at the same time. This would be an easy S tier, but its only setback is it requires 2 players. So this is going into the A tier. This next game is so bad that I'm not even going to mention its name because I don't want any hate directed towards the developer, but I literally could not get past the first stage. But maybe it's just a skill issue. I actually found this game by accident when I was looking for the next game that I'm going to cover, which is Earn to Die. Now I remember playing Earn to Die as a kid all the time. I played all the games, and I even had the mobile version of it. And playing it now, my experience was very different. The whole gameplay boils down to you pressing forward until your fuel runs out, and depending on where in the stage you stop, you will get money, which you could use this money to upgrade your car. And then you would go again, and then you'd go a little bit longer this time, and then you'd get more money, and then you'd upgrade your car, and then you're gonna reach more into the stage, which will give you more money, which will give you more upgrades, and you keep just repeating that until you beat the stage. And then you go to the next stage and you buy a new car, and you just repeat this cycle. The gameplay just boils down to pressing forward, to be honest. It's really repetitive and boring, but as a kid, I think you don't notice much and you just enjoy whatever you're being presented with. But I think I'm gonna give this a D tier, because again, this tier list is based on how much I enjoyed it as an adult. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. That's the video. It's over. I don't know how to end this. I'm just gonna like put a funny video.